Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Where are you guys there?
In a poker bar.
Yeah, we're smoking cigars and we're playing poker.
What?
I think we all have to come
What is
around.
that next to you? Is that like gin? What is that?
Yeah. No, this is actually a classic screwdriver.
Ah.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
It's probably not from the 1970s, by the way. But that doesn't matter.
Okay.
We also have Swedish chocolate, so just so you know what you guys are missing by not being in Berlin.
Wow.
This is the stuff.
Wait, are those really weird, super gross tasting?
Gross tasting? They are very deliciously tasting, I'd say. Can you guys hear us from there?
Yeah, we
we have an echo.
Echo though.
You have an echo from us?
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe I can do the echo cancellation because we don't have headphones right now.
So David, remember at the summit, at the little Swedish booth, there was some sort of candy that was like horrible tasting. It's a special Swedish something.
Oh yeah, licorice. Is that what you mean? The black
Yeah,
stuff?
maybe it was licorice.
Salt licorice?
Yeah, it was like licorice with salt or something. It was so gross.
No, it's not gross. I mean, it's right. Missing the point.
Hi, it's Michelle. I'm on the phone. I'm on video, but I'm very haggard today because we had a party for 12 hours yesterday at my new house, and about 100 people came, and I drank too much punch. Yay. Congratulations. Thanks. I feel like death warmed over this morning.
Guys, is better now with the echo?
Hello, let's see.
Is it better?
Yeah. No echo.
Yay. I do highly recommend punch made with 1 handle of dark rum, 1 bottle of cognac, and about half a bottle of peach schnapps and a bunch of lemons and limes. But beware for the next morning.
That sounds like a recipe for
Yeah, why bother with the lemons and limes, really? You might as well just...
All you need is something to cut the booze. That's what makes it so dangerous, is that it just tastes yummy, and it's actually completely booze, and it will knock you out.
I highly recommend acetaminophen and saltine crackers.
Have Advil and black tea.
All right, who are we waiting for?
Matthew.
Ebi?
Brom.
There's Brom.
There's Brom.
Chang, are you on the phone? Is that? I don't see your video.
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Do you guys want to turn on video?
I'm also on video. I'm just using the phone for the interface.
We don't see you on video, Chang.
It's face muted.
I shouldn't be face muted.
All right.
I can see myself and you guys.
Michelle is on the call. Okay.
Wait 1 sec.
Already, so let's get started. Happy Monday. Another fantastic week.
There's Ebi.
This is a very special week for us Europeans, because we're sitting here in a very dark kind of room. Actually, this is an up, if you believe it or not.
You should see this.
Yeah, the last room was. Look at the lamp. That's the view. So it really captures the.
This is the table.
So anyway, the other room that we have was concrete walls without any padding whatsoever. So it was like, it was like preaching in the choir. No, actually,
In the
preaching. Never mind. It was like speaking in church.
There you go.
I'm in church. Anyway, so this is the upgrade. This is a room with slightly better acoustics, but also very interesting interior. So, and the reason why we're here is because of Rosanna. It's her first day, so please.
Hooray!
Yay!
Welcome. And that's also part of the agenda. Do you wanna spend give us 30 seconds of a cap of your who is Rosanna?
So yeah, hello everyone. So I just started today. I used to work for open office, and then I worked on product marketing for Oracle. Changed then to a more product management position at a games company, but I couldn't stand it to be so far away from free and open source software, so I wanted to come back to Mozilla. I sociology, so I'm very much people and all of that, and I love languages. I speak a couple of them.
A couple? 5? Yeah, so she speaks almost 6 languages.
No, it's 5. But anyhow, and I'm really very excited to be on the SUMO project and to get to know you all and to get to grow this community.
Great, welcome. So I that from Roundtable before we go back and talk about SUMO development up in the US. I know that there are people from outside of the SUMO team who are eager to get part of this week. So with that said, do you want to? Actually, I didn't know that your name was Ricardo, so that's beautiful. I don't have the name captions in my video. You want to give us the update?
We're 3 Latinos now in the team.
Yeah.
Viva Latinoamérica. Oh wait, Iva is not Latinoamérica, but yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So as of this morning, we're serving 15% of users with Elasticsearch engine. So that's awesome news. And so far, we've been keeping track, paying attention to the infrastructure graphs and our own stats, the metrics, and everything is looking good. So I would say by the end of the week, in a few days, we should be at the 50% level that we need to do the comparison A/B testing against Sphinx and stuff. So yeah. That's my update. Other than that, there's the links to what's landing tomorrow. And James joined. I don't know if he wanted to say something.
Oh, no, I just wanted to welcome Rosanna and say hi and introduce myself. So, hi.
Please, so James is actually, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you work on maybe.
So I'm the engineering manager that SUMO Dev reports to. So I am here to help the SUMO Dev team do what they need to do. And I also work with the MDN and community tools teams, which handles a few things, but they're sort of still ramping up to take on those responsibilities. So that's me. But hi, and I'm excited that you're here. And
I was just going to add that. So essentially, what James is saying is that Kadir is not the only one giving Ricky a hard time on a day-to-day basis.
So Ricky, you're on the dev team.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Any questions for the developers development?
I love it that we're already at 50% before the end of the sprint. That is awesome.
A question from Michelle and I last week. It's about the Karma dashboard, the contributor dashboard. What happened with that? Is in production? Can we use it? Can we try it?
No.
You can talk to Kadir, I guess.
Yeah. So I updated the product page saying that it is currently on hold because I have to look into again how to roll this out. There are two parts to this. One is technological. The Karma dashboard isn't completely implemented yet. Not all of the actions that we need are on the Karma dashboard, but there is also the community management aspect of this. So we need to make a new plan to roll that out. If you want to help with that, you're very much welcome. But I will need another week to actually get back into that to set the schedule for that again. Currently, it's put on hold.
Okay, if you want help from me and Michelle, we are happy to assist because we want to start using it, basically.
Yeah.
So it is in production, so it would be cool if you could look at it also and get more feedback.
So if you can put a link on the wiki, it will be great.
If you want to, so there are two things. There is the project page. If you want to look at the project page, it lists all the stuff that is done and that still needs to be done. And there is also a version of the Karma dashboard that you can already access. Unfortunately, I don't know the URL right now, but I can give you the URL.
So whatever helps, basically, more than nothing.
First, have a look at the Karma dashboard, Karma system project page. And if you look at the project page, it's on the wiki. You will basically see what is on there, what still needs to be done.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I had a couple of questions.
We found SUMO at the link to the project page.
A couple questions. The KPI dashboard thing that we linked to last week, is that somewhere now again, like on production?
Yes, it is on. You can already follow the same link and you will see it.
Follow the
So
same. Sorry.
it is behind a permission, and I don't know who has that permission or who should have that permission. So it has to be set up.
So I didn't know it was behind the permission, but it said that over the time. I just didn't realize it because I could see it.
My other question is the survey on articles. You know, we rolled out that survey about why an article didn't work for somebody, too technical, wrong answer, whatever. Where are we collecting? I assume we're collecting that data. Is it presentable in any way? Is there a way to access it?
So Ebi was looking at that last week. I know. I don't know if he has an
Sorry
update on
again.
it.
Oh yeah, I was looking to that data, Michael, specifically for you. We can work on that this week.
Okay, but it's just being collected in the database. There's no UI
Yes.
for it or anything, right?
No, Cheng and I have access.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, we are currently building the KPI dashboard for the helpfulness of KB articles and the KPI display of forum helpfulness. So it will be both on the KPI dashboard. I think in the next push or something. Ricky, you were working on that.
Yeah, it'll land tomorrow.
Right, but not the actual feedback for an individual article.
Not the survey.
Right,
Yeah, that's
right.
separate.
The place where that would be really good is connected to the article. So, like when you look at the history of the article and you see the you see the helpfulness chart, and you should, you have a discussion tab. You should be able to somewhere see that feedback on the article.
Sorry,
Yeah, something like that. Or like we also have the unhelpful article list somewhere connected with that. You go see, why is this article so unhelpful?
Yeah, I think we definitely need to look into the design of that because it's not trivial.
Right.
And data for that. If you want to do that, Michael, we can together and actually look into how best to present that and what data exactly you would need.
Yep.
Because you have to display, I think we have 7 or 8 categories or something like that. You would have to display them over time also. So there is something, like I said, not trivial. Do it. We should look into what exactly we want to get out of that and basically set a schedule to implement.
Right.
Just to add to that, in addition to the per article service, we also talked about an exit service. And Kadir, you're telling me that we will design that exit service for script.
Yes,
Not the next one, but the one after that. Do we have a timeline of when we would have to have it rolled out? Because that the part about that I think is interesting, as far as I can understand, is the net promoter score that we would be able to draw from that. So we could be able to, because one of the things that we need to do this year, is to improve the net promoter score. And the question is, how much can we improve it? And obviously, until we even collect it, we don't have any record.
Hey,
So
David.
ideally, yeah.
Can you guys speak up a little bit? You're getting close to like the background hum. It's a little hard to.
All right.
Sorry.
Actually, we can probably move this closer anyway, because they can still only see 2 people. Move it to.
No, I think it is how to adjust the microphone level. I will.
No, it could be because I was just too quiet. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, what I was saying is, I would like to start to collect the reference point on the promoter score. So we have a.
Was way down. That's
Okay.
why.
Or is this too loud?
No.
Someone please tell me this is good. Hello.
Can you hear?
Yes. It's chopping up your words a little bit, but keep talking.
Can everyone else please? If they don't have.
Oh, yeah, this is, I've struggled with this all day from this office in my one-on-ones. Michelle can certainly attest to the troubles that we.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
It's okay.
All right. So what I'm trying to say is that one of the good things about the exit survey is that we will be able to collect net promoter score by asking, would you recommend Firefox to someone else, to a friend? And I want to move that needle this year, and until we have anything to track around that, we have no way of even knowing if we're making an improvement. So one really nice thing would be to be able to see if we make a difference before and after implementing the new taxonomy. So I'd really like to have that implemented before we launch that stuff. And I don't know if that's in the plan. I guess that's a question.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that taxonomy, the new taxonomy will be implemented mostly in the second quarter, and we will have the survey before that.
Okay.
So.
We have ways to measure the success of the taxonomy that are a lot more direct than the Net Promoter Score. So we will certainly be doing this with data. That was the point of design study on TreeJack this last week that Braun and Susan working on. Mostly Braun's been doing all the hard lifting on that. And it comes out of a sitemap that Kadir helped him with. So that's a very direct way to measure the success of it. And we've got our baseline for what to compare against. And we'll be doing the first test of the TreeJack in phase 2 and taking that data and refining it and making it better. So each one of those scores will be a very comparable, scientifically valid way to exactly see how much we've improved it.
That's really good. And to be clear, I don't doubt for a second that this will be an improvement. And it's good that we have specific metrics around the taxonomy that we will be able to use to validate
Yep.
to make an impact. But that doesn't change the fact that we should look at the Net Promoter Score and see how we can impact that too.
I agree.
That can actually give us a sort of an average. It's a very high level type of performance indicator that can give us indications about how we're tracking and essentially how much of an impact this change has compared to other changes that we're making. I mean, taxonomy is one big change, probably the biggest change we're doing, but there's other things coming too. So being able to set, and I suppose what I would really like is to be able to see how much the Net Promoter Score was before and after, because that gives us an indication of how much we can realistically set as a goal for 2012. Because I'm sure that, for example, hitting the goal and making sure that everyone in the forum gets an answer will also increase the Net Promoter Score. And potentially other cool things that we do this year. So anyway, what you're saying basically is that we will have that metric before we start to implement all the changes. So I'm getting essentially what I'm asking for, and we're getting Crystal's taxonomy specific.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is we will have that before we implement the changes, before we have the definition, because we will already start implementing.
Yeah. But, okay, so that means that we will start to collect data before...
Before we roll that out, yes.
Perfect. That's all I need to know. Okay, so, yeah, because, I mean, obviously I want to set a numerical goal around that, and we can't do that until we have a ballpark, or even where we are today, we don't know that, so that's why this is pressing. You can't improve something that you don't even know, how you do it. Bless you. And by the way, I think my cold is mostly now coughing. So I spent 2 hours last night coughing, and it's getting worse now in the afternoon. So if I'm coughing during this meeting, it's not because I'm an attention whore. It's because... Sorry, what was that?
No, sorry. I was going to say,
you have to speak up, otherwise...
That's just for her. We already have a protocol of this. We just have to add that. So
we'll tidy that up afterwards. All right, so moving on. UX updates. Do we have any?
Ron, do you want to give this one?
Yeah, sure. So last Friday, we were running the TreeJack test that basically it asks people to pick targets. Basically, we map the site and then ask people to find things on the site based on the old sitemap, and then we see what works and what doesn't. So I have sort of top-down sort of overviews of which tasks people are having more success finding and which task isn't, right? And it probably tells you which are not hidden and which are hidden and stuff like that. So let me see. So the most successful tasks in descending order. So number one is change homepage. So it's like 3/4 of the people know how to do that. And then private browsing, and then find out what's causing Firefox to crash sometimes. That's good. Erasing history, personal info, cache, all of that, and finding where to install Firefox. So these 5 are tasks that basically gets anywhere between like 52% to 75% success rate, basically. So more than half of our respondent, and we get 148 respondents, I think, of which there are about 85-ish that are good. This is sort of like the number. So these 5 tasks people are finding sort of pretty easy to find, and basically all the other tasks are sort of in the 30-ish percentage, which means that only 1/3 of the people who took the TreeJack survey actually found the answer. This includes, find out whether Firefox Mobile will work on your phone. This includes things about Firefox Sync. So how do you make your bookmarks and open tabs and everything the same on your home computer as it is on your work computer? Importing, exporting bookmarks and stuff like that. So yeah, so basically that's sort of the a simple report on the thing. So I've just looked at the data maybe an hour ago, and I just noted things on my notebook. So basically that's my initial finding. So
This list of tasks was very carefully derived from all the data that Susan has been taking a look at. So those are picked with a great deal of care and thought, and they are very much derived from the data based on what pages people are currently finding, and also an analysis of the search terms that people are putting in. So it comes at the question from both sides. What are people finding and what are people looking for?
Right. And it also, I think, graphs some data from Chang's like top visited page list.
There's about 5 different data sources that we use to derive that top task list.
Right. And I think we have a presentation on the things that we've done so far. I think on the, let me see, it's on the date. It's something. Let me see. Oh, it's on the 10th, I believe, right? It's like the 9th or the 10th or something like that. So it's like a Thursday or a Friday.
Okay. Must be February 9th.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So it must be February 9th. Yeah. So we'll have a meeting to present all of these findings. So.
So I'm interesting about the Will Firefox mobile work on my phone, but it's so unsuccessful. Is that just because people don't like the response? You know, it doesn't work in your phone.
No.
No, it doesn't. The way the test is structured, they are presented with a tree. That's why it's called TreeJack. And they're not actually seeing the response, you know, the KB article that it's linked to. They're just seeing the title of the KB article in the same way that, you know, you would go to the homepage and you would see the list of articles. Their success is just finding the correct article and saying, I think this is the article that solves it. They don't actually see the content.
So,
We're just looking for hierarchies.
They're just getting the title of the article.
Yeah.
I must confess that it's really complicated. I tried to do it on Thursday, and some of them are like impossible to find. I was like,
Some of our respondents took as long as half an hour to do this task.
Yeah, actually, the longest number we've had is an hour. So
somebody spent an hour doing our test.
Yeah. So that person gets an extra gift card.
Okay.
Ibai, can you make that sound again?
Sorry?
Never mind. All right. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for the update, Bob. Anything else from UX or questions?
So are we meeting today or was that next week?
My calendar knows. I believe it's review draft site map, 10:30. Oh, that's. Yeah. I'll let you know. I'll have to consult my calendar.
Consult calendar.
Hey, I think I have it. I have it today at 1:30. So yeah, so it must be today.
Yeah, that's today. That's today.
Cool.
I think it's at a time where I. It's at 10. 10 today.
Is it 10? Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to drop, guys.
Thank you. Have a great week.
See you soon.
All right. Roundtable. We have a couple of new forum helpers. Yeah, this is Puppet from.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I added these. Eric R. and Blake Moore are new, and they've been answering questions on the forum in the last few days. So I wanted to welcome them.
Welcome,
guys.
Hey,
Michelle, can you quickly say where is that the what you read on the Mozilla org site?
How they found about SUMO.
Yes, exactly.
So, right. So in the last week, I've been going through the individuals who have come to Mozilla.org and filled out. There's a little form that says that if you go to the Get Involved section of the website, you can fill out a form and say how you would like to volunteer to help Mozilla. And so there's a category for helping users. And so anyone who has emailed or put in their email address and then say how they'd like to help users. And so I've been sending a PDF of our contributor news and resources webpage that was recently updated. I've been sending that to them with some information about how to get started and asking them to register on the site and send me their username. And so when they do that, once they get registered and respond back to me again, then I add them to a new group I set up for forum helpers. And then I send them a PDF of the answering questions webpage that we have on the site to get them started with answering forum questions and let them know that's really where we need the most help. And so these two guys have been helping this week.
So what I meant is how do you learn from them? Like, for example, the Mozilla org page, the Get Involved page, they never sent us any people. Like, they didn't forward any of those emails. Are you asking for those emails, or do you get them now? And how did that work?
Oh, they're just all out in a mailman archive. They're all just sitting out there waiting for us. We've been sending actually a community member, Jay Garcia, who does a great job responding to all of the inquiries, has been sending them an email that describes what we do, introduces them to the Army of Awesome. So I do think Army of Awesome is probably growing from his work also. I am just now taking that extra step to send them a document that sort of welcomes them and emphasize that the forum is where we could use the most help. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, if you could share somewhere the archive for that, that would be really nice. Then I guess Rosanna could also look into that.
Oh, yes, I will. Absolutely.
I thought someone was able to email us personally and then forwarding them, because I think that was what was happening before when we talked to them.
So
We can tell that there's an archive that we can look into, actually.
Oh, yes. And once you're subscribed, it's just like email every 5 minutes. I mean, there's literally, there's probably 10 support related ones every week, maybe more.
Oh, okay. I talked with the person who was responsible for that site, and from what I remember, there was a very I can't remember anymore. It's been a year or so since we talked. No, I don't think it was gospel. Anyway, it's good to know. I mean, that is an awesome resource, actually. People who are already interested, and so much interested that they would give us their email. So
Yes.
is a great idea. Thanks for doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was dancing all over the office when I found this archive. It's like, here's where everyone is. But I mean, a lot of them are, what we see in other places, which are misdirected support requests. But it's the contributor engagement group manages it very well and responds to all of those very well. Jay Garcia responds to the request very effectively. I'm just taking that extra step to sort of say, hey, here, go register and I will, help walk you through.
So one of the things is, so I submitted through the thing just to see what emails people get, and it's kind of like a standard email with some links to support stuff. But I also wonder if we could talk to who runs the site about what we send out. Maybe there's a way to help do some of the things that you're doing manually by emailing each individual. Maybe some of those things can get done, like please register on the site, can be in the email, and send us your username, or those kind of things could be in that first email that they get. I don't know.
Right.
Okay. Michelle, again, thanks for doing that. And obviously, there's a ramp-up period for Rosanna here to get up to speed with all this crazy things that we do. And Michelle certainly has her fair share of the crazy stuff that we do with our wonderful community. So you've taken a lot of leadership there, and I really appreciate that. But once you both feel ready to start to share some knowledge, then that'd be great. So that
Will
means
do.
perfect. All right. Firefox status update. Or actually, before I say that, roundtable.
Oh yeah, there's more stuff on the roundtable. Also, I wanted to say, Matt G said he was on the call, but I just wanted to mention that a few of us talked to him last week about taxonomy and browsing the website, and that was super helpful and very cool that that he spent that time talking about what he did over at Yahoo around that kind of stuff. Was very cool.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually. It made me start to think about, I mean, obviously we need procedures once we have, and I mean, it's good to know that we already thought about it, but we definitely need specific procedures for how we regularly optimize the new taxonomy once we have that in place. I mean, that's going to be critical in order to validate that and know that we're serving the right content in the best possible way. So that's also very good to know that we have the metrics in place to track those things. It's going to be really, really important. It's good news, and yeah, I was impressed with Matt. I thought it was great to hear his perspective and also be, I guess, from a selfish point of view, validate that we're in a lot of places at least on the right track. But there was some new stuff too. And actually, I didn't mention it, but Kadir is now formally, and Kadir's constantly outside of the picture, but he is now formally the Kitsune product manager. So he will essentially keep doing what he's done the last 5 or 6 months.
And I don't like it.
So it's no big news really, but it's a recognition of hard work, and it also means that you can maybe focus more on one thing and less on the other thing. So
Hopefully
it's a
so.
good thing for you, I think, and for everyone else.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy.
So congrats, yeah.
You can't see it, but I'm really happy.
He sounds in his mind just like Ebi sounded when he. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, I keep trying to reload here, but I don't see anything else. So do you have any other roundtable topics?
I'm not sure if it's roundtable or KB, but I was talking with David before about 3.6 support, and I mentioned that to Michelle this weekend. How should we handle everything related to 3.6? Now that now with 10, we're killing basically the support of 3.6.
Right, but
So you're talking about how we handle the knowledge base content and how we update. Just to sort of fast track this, what I told eBay, and Michael, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is what we've done in the past was to essentially let the content live for as long as it doesn't bother anyone. But once we get to new article updates, we will clean it up as we. It's sort of on an article by article basis, depending on the update needs, rather than having a special sprint focusing on removing a lot of stuff for the sake of it, which is potentially a waste.
And also one thing is that Firefox 3.6 is still supported for 3 months. So the release of Firefox 10 doesn't mean the end of Firefox 3.6.
right.
Are we sure on that?
Yes, it's 3 months. We have 3 more months of support for 3.6. And just to put it in perspective, so far I was just looking this morning, and 3.6 usage on SUMO at least is down to 13%. So like for instance, Firefox 9, people on the latest version is almost 45%. And there's still like almost 17% on Firefox 8. But so 3.6 is like dwindling pretty quickly, and hopefully by the time 3 months goes by, it'll be down there like with Firefox 4, which is at like less than, it's like 0.5% or something.
Right. I think what we use as a threshold, was it 3.0 or 3.5? Was 2%. So one was 2%. We felt confident removing the support of it. I'm not suggesting that we need to use that exact metric, but I totally agree about your approach of looking at how much usage there is and basing it on that. But was my assumption on the actual procedure once we get there correct, Michael, or do you have additional comments to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is for now, everything just kind of stays the same. I mean, there's no sense in um, removing. We don't have to remove anything, but I think once the 12 weeks is up and 3.6 is going to be pretty low as far as number of visitors to Sumo. I think the thing that we will probably do first is, drop 3.6 like from the UI, but it'll still work if there's 3.6 content, right? And then we'll just start just like we've done for Firefox 3. As you update an article and you go, oh look, there's all this 3.6 content in this article, we can just delete it, kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Then I think we are ready to move on, and we will get back to the knowledge space a little bit later on. But first, we have hopefully a Firefox status update.
There's not much. It's just shipping tomorrow. I'm working on writing a list of known issues right now.
Okay. So Kadir is saying that he didn't update the metrics today. Will you get back to send out an email or something and talk about it later if there's anything noteworthy?
Yeah, I hope I can do that tomorrow, and then I can, if there is anything that is unusual, I can send an email. One thing, Michael, I looked today at the top 20 articles, and the list seemed strange, but I couldn't remember the actual ranking anymore. Could you have a quick look at that and say whether it seems okay to you or not?
What?
On the KB dashboard, the top, I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Sorry?
Sorry, what do you want me to look at about them?
Look at the top article and see if this listing makes any sense. Because, yeah, I wasn't sure.
I don't think you can hear us.
I can't.
Can you hear us?
Sorry, your words are being chopped in half. I can't understand what you're asking me.
Could you turn off echo cancellation?
No, actually, when we do that, then we have a huge echo. If anyone
really echoey room.
Could you please mute them? That would be very helpful. Can you guys hear us now? Okay. So, Michael, could you look at the KB dashboard for the top articles, the top 20 articles? The list seemed totally off to me, but I couldn't actually really tell because I haven't looked at that list before for a long time.
Yes, this is what I've been saying. So, we've had this discrepancy between web trends and the server logs or whatever. So maybe it's related to the new web trends JavaScript or something. But some articles are now being reported to have 3 times the amount of views as they used to have, and some the same or some only double the amount of views. So that whole order has switched. It's all completely different than it used to be.
So while we were looking, Cheng and I were looking into this last week, and we agreed that the new numbers are the relevant ones on web trends. The previous ones, we are not that sure about them. And the guys with web trends, they don't give us an answer why the previous numbers are skewed, while the new ones look really similar to the logs. At least if there is a discrepancy, it's consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, the new ones are definitely closer to the logs than the old ones by quite a lot.
Good.
Quite a lot. So,
Michael, on redirection, so I didn't know what to do with that. Like in the top 20 articles, there is a redirect. Do you also see that?
I saw that Scooby Diver created that, and I commented in the discussion, what is this for? I don't understand what that thing is for, and I don't know.
So if a redirect is new, it's going to show up for about a week or two. if it's not a new redirect and it's still showing up, then that's weird, and I'll look into it.
So Chang, it's this weird thing. It just says like, I think it's private browsing redirect 1 is what it's called, and it redirects to private browsing, and it says.
What's the URL?
I have to look it up. Hold on.
Maybe the traffic comes from Google or something.
Yeah, but so redirects don't show up in. So redirects don't show up in web trends.
Okay.
But if the URL used to be something else and is now like the URL, because it's all keyed on the URL, so if it used to be a different thing and now it's a new thing, then it's going to show up for a little bit until that clears out, the history clears out.
I'm gonna put it.
So what is the next step there? What are we?
I just wanted to see what we thought about that. But other than that, metrics related, we will test one. So we have several assumptions why the web trends data and the log data doesn't go together. Why there is a discrepancy?
Yeah, there's a discrepancy. It's just less than it used to be. So the old discrepancy was humongous, and this is a lot better. That's just how you want to think about it.
Yeah. So one of the hypotheses is that people don't load the full page, and that is why they don't get the JavaScript that actually tracks them on web trends. So we don't, we are not sure exactly, but that is one of the theories that we have. And what we will do is we will put the JavaScript on top of the page.
No, don't do that. That's like a super bad practice. If web trends goes down, we kill Sumo.
Also, James, I'll never let you do that.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I talked with the developers already. We will be able to test this, and we will be able to. We will only do that for 48 hours. We will be able to turn it off and on at basically whenever we want. And we want.
Kadir, listen to me. It's recognized that the web analytics platforms always have a bias. They always have a variation with reality. The thing is that the important thing is to understand that what it matters is the variation. If you come out with a solid need, why you need the total, the grand total, we can start messing around. But the important thing always with numbers is how they vary, how they fluctuate. You don't need to know, without context, without a variation, a number is useless.
It's better now, then why worry about it?
No, so we have a discrepancy between 10 and 40%, and we don't know why it is sometimes 10 and why it is sometimes 40%. So we can't say which articles are actually accessed consistently. Like, what is the ranking of the articles that we have? We can't say that. So because there is a discrepancy of a varying discrepancy. So unless we know why that is, it's very hard to say what's going on, isn't it?
So what Kadir is saying is that the differences between the logs and web trends is still too big because it's fluctuating somewhere between 10 to 40%, and that this is the improved numbers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, those are definitely improved numbers. There's no pretty sure that there's definitely improved numbers.
Top 20 article list ranking, and the question is how much. Like, are we talking about actual misinformation about which articles are most popular, or are we only theorizing about small nuances of the differences?
No, it's up to 40% that the data is actually skewed in some way.
Yeah, but well, it's 30%. It's between 10 to 40% fluctuations, so that means that it's on average.
Well, we would look at the full, so we don't have a full picture of the skewage because, of course, Chang only could look at a certain number of articles. If you looked at all the articles, it might be from 0 to.
Well, if you focus on like the top 25 or something. The reason why I asked the question is this a problem that we have to worry about, or have we reached enough certainty in the numbers that we can just move on? And if we have, then I suggest that we just move on. But the question is, are we at that point? That's what I'm not sure of.
I say that we are okay right now.
Well, can you validate that? Can you prove that? Can you show me the top 25 list from the logs and from web trends, and we can see how much it fluctuates, and if it makes an actual difference.
The important thing is not to see how it fluctuates between articles. The important thing is to see how it fluctuates in one specific article. So we can take one article for a week, take the numbers in web trends, and take the numbers on the logs, and see if the 10%, the 15% is consistent or not. Because that's what's worrying us here. It's not that an article is 40% all the time, and it's 10% different times. So the important thing is to say, okay, so this is 90% precise today, and it's 90 precise tomorrow. So the variation that WebTrends show us is okay. And then there is another thing that is that why is the bias showing up? And in general, we can argue that the logs are not really precise either, because the logs give us all the hits, and all the hits include things like spiders and stuff, I presume. And
Sorry, Ibai, I'm having troubles following along, but I'm also mindful of the fact that time is running out. So
yeah.
could you possibly clarify this in writing, your thoughts on what, because I didn't follow quite the type of fluctuation that you talked about, per article fluctuation, and whether or not that was what was actually that. If you could clarify that.
I guess I can send an email to the team and explain the situation, but I tried to do that last week, and I'm a little bit frustrated with the situation, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's important to understand, or do we have a problem that we need to fix, or can we just move on? And I don't feel confident. Maybe I should read your email again then, Eva, if you already tried to explain it. So if so, there's no need for you to read it again. But I need to try to understand this situation. Because at this point, I don't even know if we need to move on, or we need to keep investigating this. What I meant with the top 25 list was that would it be the case that the top number 2 article in one list is article number 5 in the other list because of this fluctuation, or are we seeing the same rank? If we're seeing the same rank, then I would say we have no problem. But if we're seeing that the actual list would be different if we looked at the logs compared to looking at the web trends, then I have less confidence in trusting web trends. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe we have data that can prove if it's A or B here. And depending on that, based on my thinking here, we should be able to make a decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to do the comparison. We can check that.
Yeah, so why take that the next step then? Compare the logs with web trends top 25 or whatever, how much information we can get, and see a radical difference in those lists.
Yeah. Let me talk to Cheng and let's see what we can do offline and what's reasonable in terms of time, because it doesn't make sense to spend weeks of work in something that the people who in theory understand a little bit of the numbers are saying that it doesn't really matter.
No, actually, even if we did, we would spend basically 2 days of work on this. It wouldn't be weeks of work.
If we don't need to do it, then we don't need to do it. So if there's an easy way for us to just validate if we have a problem or not, then we should take that path first before we start to implement new changes in the code. If there is a need to do a change, we can do it within 2 days, and that's good.
No, the code change is basically just a one-liner. You basically move.
All right, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care because I don't even. If we don't need to do it, then we don't need to do it. No matter how little code it is involved, because there's still the risk that Ibai talks about.
Can we run this offline?
Actually, that would actually you would send a query to WebTrends before you even start to load the page.
That's true, but
so that's going to impact page load time. It's gonna make us not load the page at all if it's down. There's
it's a really bad practice. You need to have like a super strong case to do that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do here is trying to figure out, do we have a strong case for doing this in the first place? If we do, maybe we can try it, or maybe we don't have to do it.
Again, I'd rather taking this offline. Can we?
All right.
Start with that and then move on from there. Does that seem reasonable?
I just missed half of your sentence.
So I'm saying,
I think that sounds reasonable. Let's try and have. Why don't you send an email? Is that? I think that's what David was trying to say. And like,
no. What I said was,
I send so.
Send the answer in an email. But what I'm trying to say is, try to figure out in the top 25 or top 50 or how much, whatever amount of data we can pull in, will show us an equal list or a very similar list from web trends and from the logs. That will tell us, do we have a problem here, or not. And if we don't have a problem, let's move on. Because I can tell you, we have thousands of things that we need to work on in terms of metrics and stuff. This is not a top priority. If the web trends and the logs are creating two very separate lists of top 25 articles, then I'd be very curious to figure out why. And then I'd say I have a case for investigating, and we need to figure out how we do that. So can we start with that? And if Ibai and Cheng could help with that, to figure out the answer, is are the top lists similar or very different? Once we know that, we should be able to make a decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's the next step. And Ibai, once you have an update, please let us know.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense?
Makes sense.
Perfect. Knowledge space.
Okay,
Michael.
are we? We're gonna go longer than last time, even though we're trying to make it shorter. So you can read all of this. It's all in there. We did the review sprint was super awesome. We got through like everything. The homepage experiment that Michelle started last week is live. I think it looks awesome. We should collect some data and see. But I think like some of those tasks that Brahm talked about, like these are tasks that are super difficult. I think right now they're way, way, way easier to complete with the way the homepage is. So I think, well, we should look at the data, but I'm optimistic it's going to be super good. And then, oh, you know, we changed the sidebar, and we were worried about article discussions. So the 10 days before we did that, we got like 3 helpful responses and 22 like either spam or misplaced help things. And after the 10 days after, we got 2 helpful responses and 2 misplaced requests or spam. So it looks like we just cut out the noise and kept the signal, which is what we wanted. So
Awesome.
I say good.
What we did was just from people who weren't logged in, right?
No, it's basically everyone. So when you go to the KB, the right-hand side will say hide or show the editing tools. And once you activate them, once you say show the editing tools, it will always show them. And when you say hide them, it will basically remember.
So we still expose it to users who want to see it?
Yes, I mean, if it still says show editing tools for everyone. And if you are someone who just discovered take on the page, you can just say show editing tools and then still.
Tell it, is it a he or she?
What? It's a she. It's a she. That's Mau Mau Kitty.
Wait, are you saying that this cat weighs 5 kilos?
I don't know kilos, but like 17 pounds? Yeah, she's huge, but she's like double the size of a normal cat. She really is. Like taller, longer. She's really big.
That's like 7 kilos.
Wow. Oh my god. Wow. I need to. So just explain to me, why do we need to expose the discussion link to users? Period. Like, do we want people to?
Of course, we want them when they see a mistake on the page or when something doesn't work, we want them to actually tell us. And like Michael said, we just get the same signal without the noise because we don't know the tools by default.
Well, you still got some. It's just that so my question is, are we getting the actual helpful feedback about the articles from people who are logged in, or are we getting that from anonymous people like users?
No, so you have to log in to post. So you have to be logged in. But like for instance, this last week, we got somebody who was like, "Hey, these steps don't work in Windows XP." I mean, they logged in, they created an account, it was their only post. Alice was like, "Hey, that's right, they don't work. I'll update the article. Thank you very much." You know.
So then the benefit of exposing it to end users. So I just wanted to make sure that was the case because the one, but I'm proven wrong. Or am I? Okay.
So just to mention, Alice helped with all of these things in this list this week, and also spends a lot of time answering forum questions. So just a big appreciation to her for all of her help on the homepage and the review sprint and forum, and for everything she does. She's awesome. Alice Wyman.
Just one question. I hear a dog barking in the background, and I'm wondering, would that be the 17-pound cat too?
No, they're the dogs in this house.
All right. I was thinking, since you have a cat that basically weighs like a normal average dog, it might
More than a toddler.
It's actually a small pug.
She talks a lot, this cat, but not in barks though.
Not yet. Not yet. She's on diet. What's her name again?
Her name is Mau Mau Kitty, because that's what she does. She goes meow meow all the time. Meow meow, 2 meows. Meow meow.
It's very creative.
Okay, we're very short, so we should wrap up.
I once knew a girl who had a parrot named Birdie. Anyways, yes, we're done.
Are we done, or something about services? Ibai, do you want to?
I included an update on what we spoke the other day about 10 and 14 plus whenever browser ID lands. So the update says that everything is unclear. So I will keep you posted as soon as anything is decided.
Perfect. Perfecto. All right.
Have a great week, guys.
Yeah, have a fantastic week. Shane?
Yep.
So this is when we're supposed to. You need to be in the Thunderbird meeting.
I think it is now. Yeah.
It's right now.
Okay.
It started 2 minutes ago.
I'm
So you need to make a move. I am trying to figure out where we can meet for our one-on-one, Shane.
okay. I'll just stay here. That's probably. I don't know if I can get the camera working though, so it might have to be a phone one-on-one.
So for everyone else who might hear about this, but yeah. So Shane, I'll with we do this.
Okay.
Have a
Bye.
Bye. Welcome,
Bye.
Rosanna. Have fun.